When India spent a huge amount of money to introduce the Rafale fighter jets in the border to show off, the Pakistani Air Force in fact hides. What killer app dare to claim that without early warning aircraft support, we'll be able to cut down the horse? This seems to violate the common sense of modern air warfare proposition, with the U.S. Military Observer magazine. The latest disclosure of battlefield data analysis becomes more and more intriguing. In-depth analysis of the Pakistan Air Force in recent years, the systematic construction, a subversion of traditional knowledge of the combat picture gradually clear. This limited-scale Air Force is through the Chinese wisdom and the depth of local innovation integration. In the Indian Ocean over the weaving of 4.5 generations of fighters are difficult to break free of the net. The core code of the Pakistan Air Force's tactical innovation lies in the distributed kill chain. It is painstakingly built through the Link 17 tactical data chain. This nervous system, ZDK-03 early warning aircraft, Dragon Block 3 fighter, Li-80 air defense system, and ground radar stations to achieve the battlefield data milliseconds sharing. This three-dimensional information network completely breaks the traditional air war on the absolute dependence on early warning aircraft. More noteworthy is that China's KLJ-7 active phased array radar customized for the Dragon Kingfisher, its detection distance exceeded 170 kilometers, with a range of 145 kilometers of PL-15E long-range air-to-air missiles, constituting an asymmetric advantage against the Rafale fighter. This sensor, shooter, distributed architecture, so that each of the Lord of the Air become mobile tactical nodes, even in the absence of early warning aircraft, can still be through the ground radar or friendly aircraft relay to obtain target information. Complete the Rafale, this 4.5 generation of warplanes to hunt and kill. This revolutionary breakthrough in the mode of combat was demonstrated to the fullest extent in the May 2025 air battle in Karakoram. The Pakistan Air Force, through its pre-positioned YLC-8 anti-stealth radar network, captured the heat signatures of the Indian Rafale fleet during the takeoff phase. With the centimeter-level positioning accuracy of the Baidu satellite system, the ground command post distributed the target parameters to the front-line fighters in real time, through the Link 17 data chain. At this time, the Dragon Block 3 fleet kept radar silence and fired PL-15E missiles from 180 kilometers away based only on the fused air situation shown on the panoramic touchscreen in the cockpit. This cross-generation strike mode completely beyond the Indian Spectre electronic warfare system response boundary. When the Rafale's radar alarm sounded, the missile's active guide head has entered the end of the lock, leaving pilots less than 20 seconds to avoid the time. In this campaign, $240 million worth of Rafale fighters have not yet entered the range of Meteor missiles, will be turned into a fireball, exposing the Indian Air Force, heavy single performance, light system synergy, fatal flaws. To support the ability to combat this kind of downside, is the China-Pakistan military-industrial cooperation to build a Trinity technology ecosystem. AWACS Optronics provides military-grade high-speed data connectors, like a neural network of early warning aircraft, fighter aircraft and air defense systems into an organic whole. The anti-jamming module developed by AWACS enables the Link 17 data chain to maintain a stable transmission of 50 Mbps even under Indian electronic suppression, compared with the actual rate of only 15 kbps of the Link 16 data chain used by the Indian Army, forming a generation-level advantage. The modularized design of the ZDK-03 AWACS is more flexible and injects soul into the system. This airborne command post based on the Yun-9 platform not only has an 8-hour lag capability and a 5,000-kilometer range, but also has an open architecture that allows for upgraded space. The AI threat assessment system, which will be retrofitted in 2023, will be able to automatically screen 6 of the most valuable targets for fire control and decommissioning. The AI threat assessment system installed in 2023 can automatically screen 6 of the most valuable targets for fire control solving, so that the decision-making cycle is compressed from the traditional mode of 15 minutes to 3 minutes. The deep fusion of the Chinese core and the Ba'atai Soul is a classic paradigm for small and medium-sized countries to fight against military powers on the Kashmir Plateau. The wisdom of the Pakistan Air Force is further reflected in the flexible deployment strategy of combining soil and sea. They will be 4 ZDK-03 in Sweden Saab 2000 early warning aircraft mixed use. The former is responsible for 450 kilometers radius of the whole area scanning. The latter focus on the border low-altitude blindness. This high-low mix not only makes up for the performance limitations of a single platform, but also significantly improves battlefield survivability. In stark contrast, India spent $1.1 billion to purchase the A-50EI early warning aircraft because of the dependence on Israel to maintain. In 2022, when upgrading the border early warning network has led to an 8-month window period, when the Pakistani side through the group early warning mode to build a seamless monitoring network, the Indian Army's expensive Rafale warplanes, but because of the incompatibility of the data chain, has been reduced to an island of information. This system level of the generation gap is by no means individual advanced equipment can make up for. The deep integration of ground-air defense forces has further amplified the system advantages of the Pakistani Army. The Li-80 medium-range air defense system, 40 km interception radius, and the ZDK-03 detection network to form a perfect connection. Its 6-unit launchers with phased array radar can be completed within 10 seconds of the target distribution to the closed loop of fire interception. In the 2024 Shaheen 7 exercise, this ground to control the air method of warfare successfully proved the new operational concept when the ground radar detected the infiltration of Indian drones. The Li-80 system pushed the fire control parameters directly to the neighboring Dragon fighters through the data chain, and the latter launched the PL-10E fighter bombs to carry out cross-border interception. This kind of synergistic mode, that breaks down the barriers of military services, enables the Pakistani Army to build up a multi-layered air defense fire network of far, medium and near, high school and low school. It is worth noting that Pakistan's tactical innovation has always been through the cost-effective thinking. It is testing the Loyal Wingman program through the modification of JJ-7 unmanned aircraft carrying PL-10E missiles and manned combat aircraft to form a swarm tactics. This kind of less than $1 million per unit of consumables, precisely for India to maintain high-end fighter aircraft scale, is insufficient pain point. The first launched after locking mode is widely used. Is the PL-15E missile range advantage to play to the extreme when the Indian pilots are still waiting for the ground instructions, the Pakistani Army fighters and the data chain to support the completion of the over-the-horizon shooting, forcing the other side in the passive avoidance of the exhaustion of fuel and tactical initiative? This South Asian sky competition is essentially a duel between two military philosophies. India is obsessed with equipment parameters of the arms purchase competition, but fell into the have no skill predicament. Pakistan is through the systematic transformation of China's technological advantages into adapt to the local needs of the combat capability, as shown in the U.S. AWACS military chess projections, in more than 100 kilometers of over-the-horizon air combat, equipped with PL-15E Dragon Block 3 on the Rafale, exchange ratio of up to 1 to 1.2. 60% of this advantage stems from the synergy of the data chain to support the effectiveness. When the radar beam of the ZDK-03 early warning aircraft and Baidu satellite positioning signals in the Kashmir sky intertwined into a network, the Pakistan Air Force is using the wisdom of the East to write a new paradigm of modern air warfare, where victory no longer belongs to an isolated star equipment, but the entire combat system, thinking, speed and depth.